If I was a betting man, and I am, I would say put some money on Christopher Nolan directing a James Bond film. Amazon wants it to happen pretty bad. So much so they're saying, hey, we'll give you final cut. It never happens with James Bond, ever. So it never has happened. And if that does happen, not only will Christopher Nolan be the first one to do it, we'll get a Christopher Nolan James Bond film, which he's been very vocal on, that he's wanted to do that. Now, does Mike Kalinowski want Christopher Nolan to direct a James Bond film? That is very, very interesting. And I don't know the answer to that question. So myself and Mike will get to the bottom of it and whether or not he wants to see a Christopher Nolan-led Bond film. What I do know is that Mike is very excited for the new Mission Impossible film. The test screenings, those already happened. So we'll see what the word is on those. And if Mike gives a crap about that, whatever they're saying. There's Daredevil reviews. I don't even know if Mike has seen it yet, but I'm curious what he thinks of it if he did see it. And I don't know what the ratings are. I'm not sure yet. Doomsday news, other things. We got a lot to talk about. And then Mike, his head can spin when he finds out the number that he's got to catch today when it comes to just me and him and whether or not just the two of us can do it and whether he can do it without Steph. So that being said, let's get to the show. It is the Kristian Harloff show here on this Thursday. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Let's get to it. Here we go. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, and we are having a hell of a week. At least I am. Hope you are. Joining me on the show today is Mike Kalinowski. What's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on? I'm feeling good. They got no lawnmower going. The internet's working.
Don't jinx it.
My camera works. So here we go. Let's go.
Don't jinx it. Yeah. Yesterday, we didn't do the show yesterday because we were supposed to have Andrew Guy on.
Oh.
And yeah, I haven't seen Andrew in a bit, and I just had so much stuff going on in general that I was like, because I'm not on the show tomorrow, and I was like, I have to try to figure some things out, and I had to push Andrew hopefully till next week, and if his schedule allows it, we'll get him on next week. But I just couldn't do it. But did you see him on Matlock?
I haven't seen him yet, but I have it all set.
He's good.
I'll bet it's great.
Yeah. So, are you ready to go for these stories here today? We got some. Go ahead.
No, roll it off. Go for it. Yeah, I'm ready.
There's some tailor-made stories here for you today.
I saw that.
I think you're really gonna like these. But anyway, so you got to catch up though, because you're gonna do this all by yourself today. No Steph.
Well, here's the thing. I heard your intro.
Listen. You would have this would be your third in a row. You're gonna be Mikey 3 belts again.
Yeah, but hold on. We realized that it doesn't matter the day.
Right.
We remember before it was like, it's Friday. Then it was just like, it's just Roxy. But I was with Steph and we nailed it.
Right.
But then I didn't want to chase it, but I had to move with Roxy last week and we got it again. But I saw the magic it's Crystal, right?
Crystal, yeah.
I saw the magic of that happening in real time. I've won it twice in a row. I broke the thing of whatever I thought was, days or people. So
you're wrong. You can say you're wrong.
I was wrong.
Okay.
So whatever it is from now on, Lady Luck, roll the dice however she may, and we'll see.
All right. Let's see if Mike can take on Roxy here today. The number we're looking for is 169. 169 is the number. Yeah.
That's not
too bad, right?
Possibility.
Well, let's see. All right. Well, here we go. This is the story itself, and it is a hell of a story here, Mike. I think you're going to, I don't know what you're going to think about it, actually. I would assume that you're going to love this story.
I've had lots of thoughts. I had people, anytime something Bond happens, my phone kind of blows up.
Yeah.
So I've had thoughts all morning.
I can't wait to hear them because there's a lot. And this is Christopher Nolan's Amazon Bond is now, the talk is heating up in the wake of Amazon's purchase of full creative control of the James Bond franchise. Much discussion and debate has been about where the vulnerable property will go from here and how the retail giant intends to handle it. Will we see movies? Will we see TV shows? Multiple spin-offs? One suggestion that gets repeatedly brought up is hiring longtime Bond fan Christopher Nolan to direct the next film. That talk came to a head last week in features written in the wake of...
Your bone structure.
No, not bone structure. In the wake of Of what, Mike? The deal with Nolan having reportedly expressed interest in directing Bond after the release of Tenet in 2020. The issue was producer Barbara Broccoli made it clear that no director would have final cut while Bond was under her purview, which led to Nolan passing. Well, things have changed in favor of Nolan. Broccoli is now Gonski. The franchise's next film, by its nature, is a complete reboot and thus could do almost anything. And Nolan can now get final cut on any kind of Bond film that he wants to make. Additionally, Amazon not only sports deep pockets, but also a willingness to do a long theatrical window for their film releases and would very much welcome the prestige of having a Nolan film under its roof. The Wrap has now spoken with a handful of top franchise producers about the deal, and the consensus reportedly is that Amazon needs to hire Nolan and give him whatever time and money he needs. One says if Amazon wants to preserve the legacy, they should do everything possible to get Nolan and wait for him as long as needed. Another source claims that Amazon has probably already contacted Nolan since there's a strong mutual desire to make it happen. All seem to be pushing for this possibility, but none of the increased chatter suggests it has any actual impact towards a possible deal being reached. Nolan's currently busy filming the Greek epic The Odyssey, which opens July 2026 and is famous for focusing on one project at a time. Any serious potential Bond deal likely won't be made for a while. Okay, this is a really big story. It's a really big story. And I agree with this article and everybody else, the insiders. If you're Amazon, you got to do everything in your power to make this happen. You got to overspend. It doesn't matter even if the movie itself is going to wind up, if you're going to make a little bit of a loss, even if the movie makes $800 million, and you're still going to make a loss. You make this happen because it starts right off the gate and it shows you, okay, you guys were all worried about us taking over. Well, guess who didn't want to do the final cut stuff? It was Broccoli. She was the one holding this back. And now you got Christopher Nolan putting this in the forefront and starting us off. And who knows, maybe he'll do one, maybe he'll do two, whatever it might be. Maybe he'll be the start of whatever universe it is, because I'm sure that there's a lot of people that would be like, well, it was Christopher Nolan's Bond universe after seeing that movie, and they're spinning off those things, and he's a producer on some of these things too. Maybe he'll be a little bit more on board with it. I'm so curious to what you think about this in general, because I know you're a big Nolan guy. So what do you you make?
It's interesting because my first thoughts were I kind of felt he had moved on from Bond, because there was a period, I don't remember when it was, like 10 years ago or so, maybe 12 or 13 now, he was really kind of wanting to, like, that was his thing. And, but then it seems in the past 13 years, he's kind of done his own thing now, not franchises after The Dark Knight and the stories that captivated him. And you could definitely see in his work, whether it's Inception or Tenet, he's made pretty much a Bond film already in his eyes. Even with Batman Begins, like Ra's al Ghul is basically a Bond villain. The way he did it. Then the whole end sequence of Inception is on Her Majesty's Secret Service based, like kind of homage to. Tenet is a Bond film essentially. So I don't know if he has, like, now they haven't said Nolan's not even commented or said anything about this, right? Like,
I think the only thing he said, it wasn't too long ago, but I mean, he still very much is passionate about doing a Bond film and wants to.
Okay, so I don't know if he had already scratched that itch and he's just like, I'm going to do, because like, look what he did, Tenet to, the Odyssey. Like, what was Tenet? Was his last one Tenet?
No,
or did he do
Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer, yeah. Jesus. And look at Tenet to Oppenheimer to Odyssey. Like, you couldn't get any different with those three projects.
Right.
So he seems to be on a roll with doing whatever he wants to do. But if he's still got that itch, if it's that one thing, he's like, I never got to do a true Bond film.
Well, it's not. I mean I see, and
that's the way, man.
I see comments in there that are saying, original Bond, original Nolan. Let's keep the original Nolan, and I understand that completely. I really do. But the Odyssey isn't necessarily original. It's his version of it.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. But the other stuff, I get it. Inception is one of my favorite movies of all time. But he going back and forth, that's how good he is. And it also emphasizes the point of what you and I have talked about many times on the show, that he is as big a star as the movie star is, because he's like, that he's doing the Odyssey and you want to see it. If somebody else did the Odyssey, it'd be depend on who it was. But like, they were doing an Odyssey movie, like, well, who's directing it? It's right now it's Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
Yeah.
If it was anybody else minus one or two other names, it would be the Odyssey directed by. You know what I mean? And so
yeah, of course.
James Bond, Christopher Nolan's James Bond sounds exciting to me. It gets me pumped. I like James Bond. I like James Bond movies, not like you, but I like James Bond a lot. I would be first one in line for a Christopher Nolan James Bond film. And I think they know that.
I think in a perfect world for Amazon, this is their golden ticket. You know,
yes.
But he also has a lot of they're going to give him first cut if he wanted that, which is a huge thing. But I think also look at him. I think it was the break with Warner Brothers about the theatrical release window for Tenet and all that stuff that he was just like, I'm going to Universal. Screw you guys.
Right.
So I think Amazon is, if they open the doors, give him blank check, do whatever you want, make your movie, and we'll do whatever you want. I think that's such a tough offer to pass, especially if he's got that itch still. Like, man, I have that idea that I never got to do, and I can do it. So
he loves Bond. He's passionate about it. He's passionate about it. He wants to do it. He'll do it. Now, the other thing that they mentioned, which people will have to think about, is that he's going to be tied up in the Odyssey, and he's really not going to start talking about this until 2026.
Yeah.
So that means you're probably not going to get a Bond movie if you want him. You're probably not going to get a Bond movie until 2027, 2028, right?
At the earliest.
To which I say, you waited this long anyway. Who cares?
Right. I think Amazon's not hurting for content right now. Like, as far as they're not like, oh, we got to get a movie out. We got to get a movie out, where they're just a studio that does movies. They've got deep pockets. So I think they can wait. And if they wait and do it right, that's, I can't see, if you look at, you said you're a betting man, something that's a surefire hit. This is it. Nolan doing Bond for Amazon is it. That's a hit.
It's a massive hit, and it will be, unless look, you always do the what if scenario, the unlikely what if the Odyssey bombs, right?
Yeah.
It's a possibility, like anything.
Sure.
Unlikely possibility, but it's a possibility. And it bombs, and then you go, well, maybe he really needs this. We give him a shot. He'd still have the benefit of the doubt, even after one hit, one miss. Like, okay, it was ambitious what he tried to do. It's not going to be bad filmmaking. You'd be like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to do a Bond film. No one's going to say that. So if you can start right off the bat, and you're going to, really, because what you allow yourself to do, if you can get a deal done, what I think you do if you're Amazon is you try to get a deal done even when he's doing the Odyssey. You try to get the deal done to see if you don't have to have him start working on it, but you try to get the deal done. So your job as Amazon Studios is to start producing. We have a Bond movie that we're going to kick off the franchise with, and it's going to be directed by Christopher Nolan. That's going to start to be in people's most anticipated lists. People are going to be talking about it again. Bond's going to be is going to be in the zeitgeist. Everyone's going to be talking about James Bond again. And once he's ready, and once he starts pushing towards it, you're going to say, holy shit, here it comes. Who's Bond now? Who's doing this? Yeah.
It's like, I was kind of the build up to the Odyssey. It's amazing how fast that came together.
Yep.
And how fast the sets were being built.
Great call.
It was like weird. It was like, wow, there's sets. Oh, they're building a whole city. Oh, they're on set location. Oh, there's a giant battle happening already. Like, it feels like it was just like all the focus was Oppenheimer, even up towards the end of the year. And then it switched and went right into this, and like it was all ready to go. Like, there was no we're working on the story,
right. Because he makes movies he wants to make. He makes movies he wants to make. This is different than just saying, well, they hired Christopher Nolan to do James Bond, which in essence is true, but he wants to do it. He wants, and they know that he wants to do it. He's been vocal about it. So they're like, oh my God, we have to follow up on this. It would be stupid for them. Like, now there's things Christopher Nolan just might say, I've decided that even though the offer is great and everything too, I just don't really want to do it. And I want to, I just want to follow the path that I've been on. And that would suck for Amazon, but he has every right to do that if he wants to. But Amazon has to treat this like, if you look at like a sports team, there's a free agent out there that they can get, and all they have to do is spend that money that they have in order to get him, because it's going to benefit the franchise.
Yeah,
you do what you have to do, and you overspend. This is one of those times I'm always critical on studios overspending on things. this is worth the overspend. You spend and you do whatever you want as far as final cut goes. Of course you give him final cut. I think it was a big mistake by Broccoli not to give him final cut. Big mistake.
I mean, I get with tradition they never gave that to a director. I get it. I mean, they're kind of old school, in the way that they think a lot. So
yeah, but that's the reason they lost, that they had to give up the rights.
Yeah, you're right. So it'll be interesting times.
Well, guys, what do you make of it? You think that this is something that Nolan should do? I see there's some people who think that he should stick to doing what he was already doing, his original movies. Well, what say you guys? Put your thoughts in there. I want to hear it, whether it is, on the replay, whether it's on Spotify, wherever it is. Put your thoughts in there. We got to hear it. Okay, we have a lot of other stories to do. Before we do, because we have tons of great stories. I want to tell you guys, I've been telling you all week, please tell me you signed up for Via and these other ones. I really hope that you have. I'm giving you good stuff here, guys. But let me tell you a little bit about our sponsors here today, and then we'll talk about the rest of our stories. Here we go. Why do I just feel like dancing when Via is part of the show? I love Via. I've been talking about Via with you guys, and I am just in love with Via because you want to feel great, and you got to feel great with the right products. And for me, that's Via. We are very proud to have them sponsoring this episode. I have absolutely fallen in love with them, and if you haven't tried them yet, you really are missing out. Whether you have to unwind, you're focusing, you're boosting your mood, Via is here to enhance your everyday and night. I'm all about that sleep. The sleep ones, sleep gummies. Oh my goodness. They are trusted by over 500,000 happy customers. Via is changing the game in natural wellness. I love them. You really do just have to unlock the power of nature with Via's organic and vegan hemp extracts. They're perfect for relaxation and rejuvenation. Via is the only lifestyle hemp brand. They use compounds found in hemp along with active plant extracts to create products, each with special effect in mind. Whether you want to get better sleep, that's what I'm saying, ease anxiety, enhance your mood, or just get high, they got something for you. Their products range from 0 milligrams to 100 milligrams of THC, so these guys have you covered whether you're looking to microdose or enjoy more potent effects. They are the industry leader. They have over 500,000 customers served. It's made in the USA. It's farmed and crafted with care in the United States, and it's award-winning services experiencing the top-notch customer service. You got to check them out. If you're 21 and over, check out the link to Via in our description and use that code Kristian to receive 15% off, free shipping on orders over $100. And if you're new to Via, you get a free gift of your choice after your purchase. They're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Enhance your everyday with Via. NordVPN. It is a great VPN and the one I've been telling you about. Why? Because if you're watching a sporting event, a TV show, a film which is not available in your region, you can switch over your virtual location to a country that is showing the event. You can protect your private data like bank details, passwords, or online identity. NordVPN can switch your virtual location, allowing you to save money by purchasing flights, hotels, subscriptions from other countries at a cheaper price. NordVPN is the fastest VPN in the world. There's no buffering, there's no lagging while you're streaming, and it stops your ISP bandwidth throttling. One NordVPN account can be used on up to 10 devices. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/KHshow. Our link will give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the podcast episode description box. So check it out, NordVPN. Let's talk about Stitch Fix. Now, I told you guys about them last week. I'm going to tell you about them again. Why? Because shopping, it's not the easiest. I found a much better way because Stitch Fix online personal styling has made it so much easier for me. I cannot stand shopping. I hate it. Even when I'm figuring out my sizes, stores, they just don't seem to have everything that I want in stock. And the crowds, you know me with people. I get annoyed fast. So who has the time to shop anyway? Stitch Fix, you get a stylist who understands your style. They understand your size. They understand your budget. That's the most important thing. They do all the shopping for you. Shopping and figuring out style, it can be overwhelming. So when it comes to getting dressed, it's hard for me to even figure out where to get started. And that's why I love having Stitch Fix, the stylist. It really knows what works. So I can get pieces to make me look great, and it's a confidence boost. I love it. My wife was like, look at you putting outfits together. And I didn't say anything except, yeah, I did it on my own. She knows, though. She knows everything. Anyway, no stores, no crowds, no stress, just personalized looks that you will love. Stitch Fix makes it all very easy. You can make style easy. You can get started today. You got to go to stitchfix.com/KHS. Pretty easy. stitchfix.com/KHS. Thanks, Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix, NordVPN, and of course, Via. I'm telling you, I'm giving you deals. I give you deals left and right, and I really hope that you guys are taking advantage of them and using our codes and doing all that. And obviously, it helps out the show tremendously when you do it. So thank you for that. Mike, we got another story just for you, buddy. You ready?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's do it. Okay, so now Mission Impossible. Cruise's latest mission gets test screened. That's the start. We're getting closer to summer movie season. The new report claims that Christopher McQuarrie's Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning had a test screening on March 1st, and the reactions so far have been troubling. Everyone hates this movie. No, I'm just kidding. So far, they've been very positive. World of Real claims that 2 slightly different cuts were screened in different rooms that evening, with both clocking in around 3 hours or such. 3 hours. Interesting. Pretty close to the 163-minute runtime of the prior entry, Dead Reckoning. The biplane sequence seen in the trailers is said to be the showstopper sequence, and likely the one an audience member almost had a heart attack watching, according to McQuarrie. The report also claims a small subplot in the film will include flashbacks of a younger Ethan Hunt. Dead Reckoning also had very brief flashbacks, but were seen from Ethan's point of view. Big cast. The Final Reckoning will be released in cinemas nationwide on May 23rd. 3-hour movie, Mike. You got to be loving this story.
I'm in. Are you kidding me? I don't care how long.
You don't care.
No.
I think for a movie that's supposedly the last chapter,
You're right.
so be it.
Yeah.
Give me 3 hours.
Go for
it. You and I saw that last one together, and you were losing your mind over it, and I think it's a very good action movie, and I've watched it since, and I do think it's a very good movie. It's a very good movie, but it just is. It's similar to me in the way that it doesn't feel as clever as the previous Mission Impossible movies, right?
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
but it's a good movie, and it's one of those movies, though, because it's so going to be tied into this one that it could essentially become even better when tied to this movie, and like almost like Dune 1 and Dune 2. So what do you make of this in the test screenings, and are you excited about it? Because we got everything from the Superman test screenings right now are all over the place. There's people who say it's the best movie of all time. There's people who say that it stinks. There's people who say that it's decent. You got to see it for yourself. But the initial response from these people this all seems positive. How are you feeling about it?
I mean, I think I'm always very skeptical about test screenings.
Yeah.
I don't know, because they always take it's not like they're taking film Twitter people that are highly critical of movies. They're just taking random sampling of people. Some people that have no attachment to the franchise, other people you might love the franchise. So if they're coming out, they always entertain. You're never not entertained in in a Mission Impossible film. So, but it is my most anticipated movie of the year. So I'm trying to temper excitement, but that's not really going to be possible for me.
Yeah, it's your most anticipated movie. Yeah. So, that scene is. I saw your tweet when they released some of that scene. Just what this guy does. And it's
I think he said he's going to die for our entertainment someday.
I know.
Like, he's hanging. I mean, yes, he's connected by a cable. There's a safety wire there, but you're still hanging off of a plane upside down, like without a parachute. Like
well, do you think because it's Tom Cruise and he knows that this is the last one, this is going to be like the biggest thing, even bigger than that Dubai scene? Dubai is the biggest one, right? That's got to be the best.
It's tough because, but then I think about the one where he's hanging off the side of a plane.
I still think the Dubai one.
Dubai to me is because if you fall off a plane, your brain's gonna pass out. You're dead. Your mind will shut off or something, like from center. But if you're on that building, I think you're seeing every floor you fall down.
I know.
You know you're going all the way down, and like
a heart attack and pass out. But either way,
the fact that like,
yeah.
But like I'm still torn. I know they're saying that the final reckoning. I have a feeling I don't think he dies, but I think they make it seem like he dies and he's still alive at the end.
It's stupid if they kill him off. I think it'd be stupid.
Yeah, I think they'll leave like it's a Mission Impossible movie. He'll live somehow, and
he can fake his own death or whatever, or he goes off and does like the way Christian Bale at the end of the last Batman, just kind of disappears.
Yeah, like, and I think it'll have something to do with the entity, that AI program, where it's like the choice he has to make is he dies or the world dies or something, and he outsmarts him, and he essentially outsmarts the smartest AI in the world. So
I'm curious to how they're going to play that, because, and I'll probably go back and revisit that movie again because I've seen it twice. So once with you, I watched it once with my wife at home, and I'll watch it to get caught up on it again, because those movies, like, and this is not insulting these movies, or like the Bourne movies, which are my favorites. They can blend in. You can lose. When did that happen? Did that happen in the fifth one, or did that happen in the seventh one? I can't remember. Same thing like the Bourne movies, like those first three movies. I can't remember which moments happened. And
I get it.
Yeah, but so I'll probably go back and revisit it. But I'm pumped for it, and I wonder. This is something. You know what? Before we move on from this topic, the thing that we both agree on is the release date for that last movie was stupid.
I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, they had committed to it first. Like they had the date planted
a week after.
Yeah, it was like they lost, and you could tell they were pissed about losing IMAX to that.
Right.
But the release date of May, was it 31st or 29th or something? That's fantastic.
That's right. Yeah. So and do they have any competition that week?
I would think maybe Jurassic World or Superman is
that's not
a big one.
That's July.
I can't think of anything in June.
Let me see if you have, because in the summer, really your competition is that week and maybe the following week, because after that, you're definitely going to get a big movie that is going to come out within 2 weeks. It's just that's just how summer goes. So let's see. I'm looking through the schedule here. It comes out on, you said May 23rd. May 23rd.
Oh.
So
well, there you go.
It's coming out with Lilo and Stitch live action, which different audience. The following week, you got Karate Kid Legends, which I don't think it's going to be a major competitor, but it'll take a little business, but not much. The following week after that is Ballerina, which is the John Wick one.
I'm excited for that.
Me too. That could take a little bit, but it's not as big as Mission Impossible. The next, How to Train Your Dragon, again, different audience, but still big, wide release. 28 years later, untitled Warner Brothers event film. We still don't know what that is. And then F1. So it doesn't have like a major competitor. It has people that will be picking at it.
Yeah.
But if it's really good and people want to go back and see it, it doesn't have like a Barbenheimer that it's going up against.
Right.
So, Derek Johnson's in here to try to push you over, Mike.
Oh boy. All right, Derek, come on, buddy.
Gonna try to push you over. So we right now are at 19. So you have about 100. And, you need 169. So good luck. Anyway, let's move on to this story about the Russos, and let's talk about Doom and how they're prepping. You saw these leaks, I assume?
I did. Yeah, I sure did.
Do you like them? The leaks?
I love concept art, so I'm kind of indifferent to it because I know usually it doesn't end up looking like that, and it's always just and actually that's not even concept art. That was like more what's called keyframe art, which is like the animators kind of what they would hope to see or what they could see or to give you a tone idea. It's like I was talking to a lot of people. I kind of think put something out there thinking that I think they might have leaked that on purpose because of the dismal Cap 4 reaction.
Maybe. I mean,
Thunderbolts isn't really trending, very popular.
You want people to get excited about this too.
Yeah.
So filmmakers Joe and Anthony Russo are set to be occupied directing both the Avengers films for most of the next 2 years. Even though they have yet to shoot a frame for the film, the pair tells Collider this week they already have run times in mind for the two features. One says, if we were a betting man, I would say the first one is 2.5 hours and the second one is 3 hours. That's about on par with what they did with the Infinity War and Endgame. That puts the films on par with Infinity War and Endgame. Well, there you go. Speaking with Games Radar, the pair adds that they aim to beat their younger selves with the hope both films will top their prior cinematic juggernauts. Joe Russo says, absolutely. We want to beat those younger versions of ourselves. We have to be, right? Because we have to outdo those movies in a way, or at least we have to take you on an equally engaging journey. Anthony Russo says these movies are an incredible opportunity for us, and they run an incredible opportunity for audiences. So we're doing what we can to deliver the experience for everyone. I think hopes for. No, everyone. Sorry, can deliver the experience that everyone I think hopes for. Pair also tells ET Online that Robert Downey Jr. has fully immersed himself in the role of Victor Von Doom. He's writing backstory, costume ideas. He just really loves rich three-dimensional characters, and I think he sees a real opportunity here. The talk comes as all sorts of rumors about the film's stories have spread, with the Cosmic Circus posting a report suggesting that Doom is trying to stop multiverse incursions and save his and others from collapse, even if it means the destruction of the sacred timeline in the process. Okay, so I think that makes sense. The sacred timeline, the one that we've been following forever, is going to go bye-bye.
So the current MCU is the sacred timeline?
Yes. It's going to go bye-bye. They're going to create a whole new time. Now, this medieval thing will last for as long as it does, but there's going to be a whole new timeline that is created by the end of this thing to essentially kind of reboot what they want to do now, and they have a way to do it. I think that's what they're going to do. What do you think?
I think seeing those pictures and what they presented in that, they've got a lot of ground to cover, and they've got 2 more movies. I don't know, man. It's very hard to see this working.
But this is why this is going to be a reboot, dude, because this is their only way.
Oh, I know, but these 2 movies are still what we're dealing with.
I don't disagree with you. Like right now, Thunderbolts is not going to set this up, and then a little bit of Fantastic Four, like a little bit of it, and then you jump right into the Avengers. There's been no setup. Instead, like that's
what I'm saying.
I know.
We don't even know who the Avengers are.
100%.
Who are they?
I agree with you, and I think a lot of people agree with you. But the thing is, if the movie is good in that, I think that what Doomsday is going to do is set it up where, if you look at it like a television show, you basically have 2 episodes to set up what your ultimate story is about, right? If you look at it's essentially a 5-episode miniseries if you're looking at a 5-hour movie, right?
Okay.
So you got a 5-episode miniseries. You've got to in that 5 hours, you have to, in those first 2.5. I mean, I guess it's closer to almost closer to 6 hours. So almost 6 episodes. So in those initial 2 episodes, you have to say, okay, listen, we are going to set it up, really tell you who Victor Von Doom is, what his plan is, what he's going to do, how he's going to do it, and then give you a big cliffhanger at the end of our, 3rd episode. And then the second half of the season is where all shit goes down. With that kind of time, as far as time length and duration of movies, you can do more than you can do with 2-hour movies. Because I don't disagree with you that there's been not a lot of setup for it, but with that kind of time, you can set it up but you've got to get right into it, and you can't mess around.
Yeah. It's still I mean, I guess that's why they did bring the Russos in, because if anyone can do it, it's them.
You would hope so. And that is what we're going to see. And I think that it does. And it makes more sense, though, why, because, the one conversation is like, why would they do this? Why don't they set it up a little bit and then just push Secret Wars and Doomsday after they set this stuff up? Because I think they want to reboot this thing as fast as possible and say, okay, we tried the multiverse thing. It's not working. We're gonna conclude it here, and then we're getting to the X-Men. We're gonna keep on Fantastic Four, and that's gonna be where we live for the next 10 years. After
it's funny you say that, because now thinking about it, I think once they do reboot the timeline or whatever, and into the next phase of whatever, the mutant phase or whatever, that's essentially going to be what the 2000s were in Marvel movies.
100%.
X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four.
Right.
The three big ones they couldn't get. So the Thors, the Guardians, even to except the Caps, I think will be pushed to the side.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah.
It is. And how they're going to use it, because reading some of the leak stuff that of what happens, I guess, in the comics and what they're planning to do with like Battle World and all that stuff, it makes more sense to me of how you can bring back Chris Evans. Because I don't necessarily agree anymore if they are going with this storyline, because I know you made this point a few times of like, well, they're just getting nervous now and they're just, let's bring back greatest hits and just bring back Chris Evans and everybody else too. But if this is Victor Von Doom basically saying, okay, because you look at that one picture and like Doctor Strange is like his right-hand man.
Right.
That's intriguing to me. That's fun for me.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but reading the Secret Wars, if you read it, it's dense and it only works so well because there's so much that came before it that makes all these changes so stark in contrast. And what you're like, oh God, I can't. Wow, they're there. This is what happened to them. Where a lot of these characters were just meeting for the first time in the past year or two. So I don't know, man. It's for me, it's a wait and see kind of thing. I got to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm also wondering because people were like, "Well, Doom's got to keep his mask on, right?" And there's two arguments for it. If you're the studio, you're like, "Well, you better have Downey showing his face. We're paying him all this money. You better do that." But the other side of it is, you hear his voice, and he can do everything else too. And you see it sometimes. If you're Downey, because sometimes with the ego of the actor is like, I want my face to be shown. Downey's not gonna care. Downey's getting paid. Yeah. You can only imagine how much he got paid to do Infinity War and Endgame, and how much he's getting paid to do this. So what do you want me to do? I'll put a shopping bag on my head. I don't care.
I'm still not sold on him as Doom. So
right, it can't be. You cannot feel like he's Tony Stark because when I love Downey, but when he was revealed on that Comic-Con stage, he looked like Tony Stark playing Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
The sunglasses.
100%. And I know he's a phenomenal actor. I know he is. And they may, but it's again, wait and see. Wait and see.
And it's not too far away. That's the other thing of wait and see.
Was it a year and a half away?
Something like that. Yeah. I think we're supposed to get Secret Wars in 2020 or Secret Wars. No, Doomsday is 2026.
Yeah. So
2027. So it's like right around there.
Was it us that were talking about this? Like after Fantastic Four, is Doomsday the next movie?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So they're gonna have a year of nothing. I mean, I think Wonder Man will be in there. The TV show. Oh, that's a perfect shot.
It's good. I think you jinxed it. I told you, look, perfect.
I did it, didn't I? There we go. So I think you got Wonder Man, Ironheart, but again, I don't think that's any good tie to it. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Well,
and again, if Fantastic Four hits like they think it does, and then we don't see these characters for a year without, it's like
we'll see.
I don't know.
Well,
we'll see.
How do you guys feel? Do you think this is a smart move? Put your comments in there. Let us know whether it's a replay, live. Tell us. And if you want to throw in one of those questions at the end, talk about it a little bit more, let us know as well. Before I move on to another one of these stories here, I guess it's still a story, but did you watch Daredevil Born Again?
I watched one episode. I didn't want to watch them both. I kind of want to pace them out.
Pace them out. So I've seen 3. And I love this show, dude. I love this show.
Yeah.
I love it. And the third one I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but it gets a little bit more procedural. Like it's more like a courtroom drama. Yeah. And I think some people are going to be bored with that. I found it a nice change because it's not like you're not going to see Daredevil running around the joint,
Right.
I like where they're going with this, but you didn't love it.
It was a little jarring at first, especially the first 20 minutes of how they shot it.
Oh, really? I love the way they shot it.
Yeah, I know they were trying to do the oneer that Daredevil always has, and it didn't work for me because it was a lot of, like in the past when they do it, the cuts blended seamlessly, and this was very much like, especially when they're in the bar and they're kind of pushing through the bar, it seemed like a lot of performers just waiting for their moment, and then they move. I didn't like a lot of the actors. The supporting cast seemed very
really
like the Asian girl and black cop in the bar,
which
it didn't read right to me. It was like
wasn't she in the previous seasons as a DA or something?
No, they were new characters. But like for me, one of the things that was so great about the Netflix shows is the people felt like real people in New York. They were just so like And I think they probably cast it out of New York. I'm going to assume that with this show, the location stuff was done in New York, but I'll bet it was filmed at their studios in Atlanta. So I bet you it's all Atlanta actors for those. I could be completely wrong. It just didn't like, of course, Matt and D'Onofrio King, when they're together, it's gold. And I think it was a mistake doing what they did in the first 10 minutes of the show. I think that was going to hurt them. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know why
we're on opposite sides. I think it's
here's the thing.
Yeah.
To me, it's like when you take a picture and you make a copy of it, it's still great, but it's not as good as the original.
Sure.
And it blends in, but like the 1 year later jump did good, but like someone made a comment, I totally agreed with this, and it's a stupid comment, but like I miss his old apartment with the neon lights coming through. He's got this nice, I know he's a high-tech lawyer. He's a high-profile lawyer. He's got a better place now.
You can't win. This is the conversation when you can't win, because it's like what they were going to do to this show. You were going to get the tone of like the She-Hulk side of it, and they went back. This tone is,
and I love the way that they handled his movement at the beginning of the show. Yeah. I love that. I thought that looked great. I think him and the two of them together in the diner. That was the great stuff about.
Yeah.
That was the great stuff that was about season 1 through 3.
Yeah.
So again, I did not like it. I thought it was great. It felt like a very nice continuation of what we got before.
Yeah.
But I'm also, I was just a little jarred. Like, all right, where did Bullseye suddenly get a costume from? And
I feel like you're gonna like episode 3 though, because of where they go. Okay. I think you're gonna dig how they approach it. I do think there's gonna be a lot of people who are just like bored with the legal aspect of it, but that's what Matt Murdock is. That's what he does.
Yeah, it
relevant
doesn't bother me at all. So
no.
maybe I should have watched the two of them together.
Yeah, you probably should. I think that was how it was intended. That's why they released it that way. I forget that you didn't see the second one. The end of the second episode is great. It's great.
But like he's like Downey in his Iron Man. Like he's just so perfect in the role. I could watch him just doing courtroom stuff all the time. Like I just think he's so good at what he does. So yeah, I do like the love interest girl that
she's good.
Glenn character. I love that dynamic.
Yeah.
Those
two see the second one. See the second one, and then I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it tonight.
Because I'm digging it. Okay. We got, I think we'll do one or two more stories, and then we'll get to the questions. This is one. I've seen this movie. This is Mickey 17. It's looking for a 40 to 45 million global debut. Parasite and the host director Bong Joon-ho delivers his quirky sci-fi comedy Mickey 17 on Friday, and then tracking figures suggest the film is headed for 18 to 20 million start domestically, according to Deadline. In addition, the film is aiming for 20 to 25 million, around 66 territories for a worldwide debut of 40 to 45. Not bad for an R-rated art house movie that's proven quite difficult to market. The main issue is the cost, though. The film cost a reported budget around 118. Ouch. Not including marketing and PA spending. Estimates are the film will need to earn 300 million at the global box office to break even. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one. The film was originally opened in Bong's home country of South Korea, where it earned 6.6 over the weekend, the biggest debut of the year to date in that country. Reviews have been positive. The film is 85% from 103 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. The film is being both praised and criticized for its often wildly veering tone, which can be summarized as Terry Gilliam meets Kubrick meets Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, absolutely. Pattinson's it gives you a breakdown of it. Anyway, Bong was also recently told the LA Times that he is not drawn to franchise films, but at one point he thought he'd like to do an Alien film before Riley adding Alien a musical. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that this is the broken record conversation we have all of the time. You can see when I said about this movie, there's a movie called Moon, which I thought this movie was
Sam Rockwell, yeah.
Yes, I thought it was going to be a similar movie to that when you look at the premise of it, but
yeah,
it does veer off in a very different direction, and it gets big. And I see where they spent the money. I see where they spent this money. It's a very well-made movie. The guy's a brilliant director. And as I said again, broken record, it's the most bizarre review that I've ever given, because it was more of these things where I don't necessarily like the direction of where the story went, right? But I couldn't give it a rotten review because it's a brilliantly made film. It takes big swings. Robert Pattinson is really good in it. The performances are really good in it. It's kooky. It's all this stuff. but I just didn't love it. And it is $118 million. This movie will not make $300 million. It's too quirky. It's too weird. There's no world that this makes $300 million. Not here anyway.
Yeah, right. And this is the film they've been sitting on for a while too.
Yeah. And I think this is probably one of the reasons why, because they just didn't know how to market it. It's like it makes more sense now. It's not like it's not one of these things of like, oh, this movie's so terrible. Where are we going to put it? It's like this movie's so bizarre and weird. We spent this money on it. How the hell do we market this thing? Like, who's going to see this? Like, I can see where the problem would be. It's like you're going to get the science fiction heads, you're going to get the film buffs, you can get those people out there to see it. You can get the Robert Pattinson stands to go out there and see it, right? But after that, in week 2, I know, now granted, it hasn't opened in a lot of territories. The movie's going to make its money if it makes the 300 million. It's going to have to do it overseas, because if it's only going to do 18 or 20 here opening weekend, you're looking at maybe 10 if you're lucky the second weekend here. You're really thinking. Look at you. You're thinking.
Jesus, like
you're deep.
That's perfect.
Yeah, you were deep in thought.
I jinxed it today.
Yeah, you jinxed it. So, but let's see. We're gonna do the same thing that we just did with those other movies with Mission Impossible, and see what kind of the competition as far as big budget movies.
Right. But it just seems like it's like, who is the audience for this film?
I don't know the answer to that.
That's the $1 million question, I guess.
I think I do know the answer. I think I said it. I think it's the science fiction heads, it's the film buffs, and it's Robert.
Yeah, but like, I mean, look at Parasite. Like, I didn't want to. Like, it wasn't on my radar at all until all the buzz happened. I was like,
right,
all right, I got to see this movie, and I thought it was great. So yeah, I mean, but you don't think the movie's great though, right? You're like,
no, I don't think it's a great movie.
Okay.
I want to see how much was the Parasite movie budget? 11 million. That's the big
Jesus.
That's the
Jesus.
That's the big difference. So
when crap, that $11 million for a movie,
that movie's a massive hit when it's $11 million and you get the
you're right.
Now you're making $118 million movie. And this movie should have been more like Moon, and it should have cost $20 or $40 million. Now you got to make too much money. That's the problem. You can't.
Okay.
That's the thing with these directors, though. They get the praise that he deserves, but then it's not this. You know who I blame it on, Mike? I blame it on the agents. It's the agents. The agents are the reason, but they are. The agents are the reason why
you mean that, like the actors' agents and directors' agents?
Everybody's agents. Yeah, the directors, the actors, because they say, like, all right, listen, you want my client? My client just did this and this. We're not doing Parasite numbers anymore. We want the studio said, we want $20 million. We want 15, and it balloons the freaking thing. We want this, we want that. We want to make sure that they have this in their trailer. We want to make sure that they have this. Balloons the budget. And this is why we made that point about Nolan. Nolan's movies can stay on target, and he's not overspending because everybody wants to be in them. So, like, you don't want to be in a Nolan movie? We'll find somebody who's going to do it for scale.
Yeah, I know.
And not everybody has that. Not everybody has that. It's sort of like, you're going to spend your money on Nolan because Nolan's going to put back close to $1 billion. If you're not making those commercial films, you ain't making $1 billion. You ain't making. It's going to be hard to make $300 million.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. So that's 300 million. I mean, there's a good shot. It's not outside the realm of possibility.
Word of mouth kicks in, and you never know. I don't
think they're going to do it here. It's not going to happen here. If it's going to happen in other markets, no, it's not going to happen here. It's going to be other markets somewhere else. So
I can see that.
Yeah. I don't know. There was something that came out on. Oh, you know what? This is the one I want to talk about, and then we'll move on.
All right. What you got?
Robert Pattinson the other day was talking.
Oh yeah.
Sticking with Mickey 17. He's talking about Batman, and this is what he said about it. He was talking about being too old for the role at this point once it finally happens, and they're asking him during Mickey 17. So I think it's relevant to the last story. Matt Reeves' The Batman hit cinemas 2022, and the upcoming Batman Part 2 will arrive in late 2027, 5.5 years later. Yeah, sure. It has taken a long time for the project to come together. Speculation, right, that filmmaker Matt Reeves has been dealing with personal issues that has delayed things, as did the WGA strikes. No one is more aware of the delays than the film star Robert Pattinson, who has been promoting Mickey 17, that is opening now. Talking to Hero Magazine, Pattinson was asked if he'd begin working on the Batman sequel soon. His response, I effing hope so. I started out as young Batman, and I'm going to be effing old Batman by the sequel. If filming kicks off towards the year that is planned, Pattinson will be 39 by the time he slips back on the cape. He was 33 when the first one was shot. Christian Bale filmed his final Batman film at age 37. Batman Part 2 will be released in theaters on October 1st, 2027. I think this is turning into Blade. Now, differently, because they already shot one, which is crazy because it obviously with the personal issues and other things. But even if you can't always take in context when you see something written of how Pattinson said this, but you can.
I get you.
But you can interpret it that he's getting annoyed.
Yeah, I think he's kind of making a joke about it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, didn't he recently say, there we go, that's perfect.
Yeah, gas?
Yeah. Didn't he say that Reeves told him the idea and he's excited about it? I think that was the last week.
Yeah.
But
sure.
I mean, hey, you just tell him an idea. Like that to me is see, I'm still thinking about it. If he's just told you an idea, it's like, wouldn't he show you the script? So there's not even a script to show you. Like,
no,
I get a lot of flack when I talk. I don't want to say negatively about the Batman 2. And again, people that do that come at me. They clearly have no idea who I am.
Right.
Because I don't talk negative about DC or Batman. It's just like I had said, I think this might be time to end it. Like if you can't get it, and it's going to be holding up the plans for the Batman, whoever he is in the DCU.
Yeah.
It's like at this point I'm thinking, and again, if it's health reasons, because I think Roxy was one who kind of might have mentioned that, like that's a completely different ball of wax.
Sure.
But if it's just, hey, we can't crack the story.
But even
that's a tough thing to swallow.
I think even with health reasons, you say, look, you have a job here, Matt. Whenever you need it, you're a brilliant director. We're doing other things with Batman right now, and it didn't work out in the same way that like sometimes if there's something that happens with again a professional athlete, someone gets sick, something that happens, it's just like, okay, well when you come back, your spot's here. But we still gotta move.
Yeah.
And the Batman Part 2, the guy, like I said, the guy's gonna be 38, 39 years old by the time that they do it. You got to change the story too, because you did the first one was Batman Year 2.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be like you're basically doing another Batman movie, the ones that we're used to. You got to be close as he was joking. He said, "I'm effing old Batman now," but it's like it is a Batman that's been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah. Again, Robert Pattinson doesn't look any different than he did 5 years ago, really. So it's
you could play him to where he's in his early 30s, mid 30s. Sure.
It's not like we're doing like a Strangers thing where you wait 5 years and you've got completely different people because they go through their aging. So I mean, but also you have to. At what point do you just go, "Wow, it's been 5 years"? Like, because momentum is not there anymore.
Well, you also need Batman in your DCU, and
you absolutely do.
And especially if Superman delivers, and especially if Supergirl delivers, and they want to have these, and they're like, well, people are going to start saying, "Where's Batman? Who's our Batman?"
Yeah,
is Batman going to appear in Clayface? Is he? And if so, like, are they going to? If he does, if Batman appears in Clayface, and you're like, "Oh, that's a great Batman. Where's his movie?"
Yeah,
and they still haven't done the Batman Part 2. That movie's going to get overshadowed. It's just going to get overshadowed, and as much as people love it, it's like there's only so much people are going to be like, okay, give that to me. We want to see it. It's going to be. I don't know if 2027 is even going to happen.
That's 2 years away, man.
I know.
Jesus.
I don't know if it's going to happen. But maybe it will. I hope it does. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? It's the same question anytime we talk about the Batman. Is this something that should continue to happen? Should they just go with the DCU Batman at this point? Should they let Robert Pattinson go, or they go, no matter what, stick it out. Make sure that we get this guy. We got to do it. So put your thoughts in there. Let me know. All right, we're going to get to the questions in just a moment here. And before we do, I've been telling you all week, we got great sponsors for you. And I got 3 more. I'm going to let you know. Here you go. Kickoff to me is super exciting in general because of what I'm doing in my life. I'm looking to I moved to New York for a reason, changing, and I wanted to get out of LA. Some people are like, oh, it was more expensive in New York. No, not where I live. and I needed to do some stuff and prove for my family. So time passes, and it passes kind of fast. So for me, it's like, I remember meeting John in college. That was 20 years ago, something like that. It just flies by. And no matter how fast time flies by, it's never too late to make progress. If you're saving for a big purchase, whether it's a home, whether it's a car, and you got to build your credit fast, Kickoff can help that. They are the #1 credit building app in the App Store, and plans start at just $5 a month. There's no credit check. There's no hidden fees. There's no interest. So for me, it was a matter of just building up that credit, making sure that, when you want to try to get a loan for a house, man, that's what you got to do. So that's what I'm telling you. For the credit goals for me, I want to make sure that I have good credit, paying off everything. And I found them because they're like, hey, this is something you'd be interested in. And I was like, yes, it is. What's so great is if your credit's under 600, you could jump 28 points in like your first month. It's a smart, legit credit hack with no catch. There's no credit check. There's no hidden fees. There's no interest. It's simple. You just make a one-time payment. The credit bureau sees the good behavior, and then your credit grows fast. You can start building credit immediately for only $1 first month. It's affordable. Well, autopay, you never have to worry about missing a payment. You just build credit in your sleep. Sign up in minutes from your phone. No credit check. Cancel anytime. Kickoff is the #1 credit building app out there. You build credit fast. You get your first month for just $1 at GetKickoff, KIKOFF.com/Kristian today. I've really been making fitness a priority lately, and I want to make sure that my nutrition is part of that. So I've been getting Factor, man. And Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating pretty easy. They're dietitian approved, and they're ready to heat in 2 minutes, so you can fuel up right then and there, no matter what life throws at you. The great thing about Factor, it arrives fresh and it's fully prepared. It's perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. I can tell you it's been an absolute lifestyle changer for me. It's got over 40 options across 8 dietary performances on the menu each week. It's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. You can reach your goals this year with ingredients you can trust and convenience that can't be beat. So you want to eat smart with Factor. You get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use the code Factor Podcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That is code Factor Podcast at factormeals.com/Factor Podcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Factor. If the slots are spinning, you could be winning. You got to head on over to DraftKings Casino. You got to play the classics you know and you love, or try something new with DraftKings exclusive games. Plus, new players that give DraftKings Casino a spin can earn anywhere from $5,000 to $1,000 in casino credits. You just got to sign up and use the code HarloffXX and wager at least $100 on slots or table games to receive up to $1,000 in casino credits. Only on DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Minimum $100 in wagers required for reward. Play and earn rewards for up to 7 days. Varies by tier reach. Slots and table games only. Non-withdrawable casino credits expire in 168 hours. Wager $70,000 for maximum reward. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends March 16th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, again, been hooking you guys up with deals. Make sure you capitalize on those deals. I put the links in the description for all of you, whether it's on YouTube or in the podcast feed or Spotify, all that stuff. So go and check it out. All right, Mike. You need right now, you're at you need 169. So right now, currently, you're at 48. So you need about 100 and, I don't know, was it 120? No, 122, something like that, to catch up. Oh, you're good. You're muted, so that's fine.
No, I'm not.
No, not a girl.
I'm all back, right, buddy boy. I'm back, baby.
All right, let's get to the. So we have a bunch of questions and 48 currently, and let's see if Mike can do it. Let's see if Mike can pull a Steph. Tom Hanks. Can I watch Born Again without the Netflix shows? I wouldn't. I'd try to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because could you catch up with it and understand what's going on? Sure.
I'm trying to think, like, they do a good job with Fisk in his past, but Vanessa, you don't get the whole Vanessa and him thing.
There's a lot of stuff you don't get, like the emotional attachment to. If you don't watch those other ones, you won't really. You'll be like, oh, okay, I get it, but you won't.
I'll say this:
involved.
You might be able to not watch season 2 because that was all Elektra in the Hand and all that stuff, and Madame Beau. So you might be able to, or Madame Gao. You might be able to do 1 and 3, but 2's my favorite.
How many seasons? How many seasons of The Punisher were there?
2.
So I've never seen
Those were rough.
I've never seen a season of The Punisher.
I'll tell you this: what they're doing now, giving him that Marvel special presentation show, that's what they should do. I don't think The Punisher is an episodic show, a 2-hour special presentation, perfect.
I can't remember if I've seen season 3 of Daredevil. I can't remember. Because people keep telling me that I haven't seen it because they're like, you haven't seen 3, and I'm like, they probably said as much, but I can't remember if I've seen 3 or not.
3's the one he mainly deals with the church and is the nun, who I don't want to spoil if anyone hasn't seen it.
I can't remember. It's been so long. I can't remember. You started telling me about season 1. Probably wouldn't.
I watched 1 and 2. Like, I would rewatch those a lot. 3, I didn't watch a lot. It was great, but it wasn't as good as the first 2 to me.
Who was that dude that we went to college with? He was in the theater school. John. He dated Emily, and he played Daredevil's father in season 1.
We went to school with him.
Yeah. Shoot.
Did we?
Yeah. Can't remember. John. The hell was his last name?
I didn't know. He must have been before my time.
No, he was in the theater school with us. 100%. Yeah. I can't remember his name. Someone will probably look it up and find out who Daredevil's father was, and you'll know his name. But
there we go.
Perfect. You look good. All right, next one here. I will say that I pulled one of my mom's things there. You know that guy Johnny dated Emily. They went to school. They had a sandwich.
You remember him? He had the curly hair. Remember?
Yeah, remember that? Simon Section. Kristian, I enjoyed watching your Daredevil Born Again reaction, but episode 2 celery sticks. What's the deal? Was I eating celery sticks? Please tell me there was something I don't remember. Like, people were talking about how I'll explain the eating in a second.
Are you eating celery sticks while you're watching it?
I guess I was. I guess the editors kept that in there. Please tell me there was some bourbon in that dipping sauce. I prefer to smoke the devil's lettuce. No, listen. This is the thing that I was telling you guys. Like, I had to move the show because I had to focus on health. Right, I had to focus on going to the gym, doing these things, and I've been. Let's say it was my 8th day going to the gym in 2 weeks, right? And I have to also, I don't get a whole health kick thing here, but diet is the most important thing. It's why I told you about the deals that I just have been telling you about. But I have to eat every 2 hours. Not necessarily, whether it's snacks or meals, whatever it is. And I just got back from the gym when we did the show at 1:47 was when I got into the office. So I had to heat up some food. And then if I don't, you trust me on this, because someone I saw, and it was a funny joke. Someone said Kristian's always eating like Brad Pitt on these shows. I was trying to hide it, but I was like, I'm not. It's you would much rather me be doing that than to have a me that has not eaten that is doing this show, and I don't want that because I'll get myself in trouble. I've done it in the past, not eating and being sick and stuff too.
You get hangry? You a little uppity?
Yeah. I mean, it's a bad version of myself, and it would be good for nobody. So, much rather people have to give me shit about eating. And the same thing with the celery. I had the celery. I would rather I'll take the unprofessional comments and stuff too, because you want that. You don't. Again, you wouldn't like me when I'm hangry. Nathan Drake, can we stop with the one long take gimmick? No, I like it.
With you.
You with me or you with Nathan Drake?
I'm with Nathan Drake.
Okay. In my opinion, that opening scene of Daredevil was dark and hard to follow. Also, bad CGI for some of his movements. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so great.
I get you felt, they're trying to do a oneer.
Yeah.
You just felt it.
Yeah.
What's up?
And the emotion was there.
Yeah, I get it. But again, if you watch it again, there's like certain performers that look like they're waiting for their moment. They're like, oh, now I got to move. It didn't feel as organic as like the first one in the first season. Like that thing was just that hallway shot. Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Next one here. King of the Wicker people.
Oh,
Calling
no,
you out, Mike. You said last week there was no way Amazon would court Nolan for Bond. How you like them apples? Just kidding. I love you guys.
Well, it shows you I know nothing.
Did you say that?
Maybe.
I believe it.
Wait, hold on. Last week you said there was no way Amazon would court Nolan for Bond. Did I say that, or did I say there's no way Nolan would do an Amazon Bond movie? I don't know. But I'm not going to deny it. If I said it because I'm like, I know nothing. And that was only a week ago. And a week from next week, we could hear reports saying that Nolan doesn't like Amazon. He thinks they suck as a conglomerate and wants nothing to do with them.
Right. Nerds Engaged gave 5 memberships. Thank you, Nerds Engaged. The best. A lot of great stuff. Great time to be a member right now and a patron. We have or a patron, I should say. We have live streams that we do. We have Q&As we do monthly. PLD is going to be like, yeah, speaking of that, when are my dates? And then we have the raw reactions that we put up with me and Sam. We just put up our reaction for Spider-Man 3. Our reaction for Amazing Spider-Man drops tomorrow. And then Tuesday, Amazing Spider-Man 2. So we got a lot of stuff going on. And I'm going to put the Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2, non-edited up on the channel membership. I'm going to try to do that today. That's my goal. Go, pal. If Nolan does the next Bond, what will be wait, Mike, I guess he's asking you this. If Nolan does the next Bond, will that be the longest break since Dalton to Brosnan, Spectre, and TTD? No Time to Die, given his Odyssey that still has to be made.
Dalton to Brosnan was 6 years. So No Time to Die was 21 to. If they can get it in 2027, it'll be the same amount of time.
There's no way.
It was 6 years. It was 6 years.
There's no way they're going to get twisted. So yes, it'll be the longest. Bless you. It'll be the longest.
I say 2028, so it'll be the longest.
Yeah.
But again, it's a whole new era for Bond. So maybe that's what it needs to do. Because I was sitting there for a while saying, because people were asking me like, "Where's Bond? Where's Bond?" And I was just like, maybe it just needs to lie dead for a while. Well, an audience.
So I agree with you. By the way, I think that it is absolutely going to benefit this franchise to take a break and wait. So I love watching Silent Mike screaming at his dogs. All right, Mike Joyce, I see you arguing with the likes of Couture on Twitter, Mike. For your For You page must be awful. Support for Mike and his cute dog.
I don't know. Like, he's just one of those. I look at this person's page and it's like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers. And I'm like, it's a political thing, but
okay.
Mike, my page, I guess I don't understand how algorithms work, but it gets littered with political things right now. So
you get engaged in it. That's why. Chris Lissenfeld. What's up, fellas? My dream Bond film would be Nolan director Zimmer score. That'd be great. Starring Hiddleston Bond, Cillian Murphy villain, and Robert Downey Jr. as Felix Leiter. What do you think about that?
Well, here's the thing, too, and it comes with Nolan. And again, I don't fault this at all. He loves working with the same people.
Yeah. And
then it's, we get the oh, Christ. I jinxed it today, didn't I? My internet hadn't been this bad in a very long time. So I jinxed it, and I apologize for that.
Asshole.
So I don't know. You're going to see all the usual suspects in this film if it's a Nolan film, but a lot of his people are so well known, and Bond never really goes that route. I don't know. That's another thing that's part for the package you're going to have to deal with. So we'll see.
Go, pal. That said, I'd love to see Nolan's take. I think that's the thing that I'm like I mentioned.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just excited to see what he would do with the James Bond movie. Kyle Wilson. If Nolan makes Bond, who does he cast as Bond? Matt Damon or Matt Damon? Can I get a hey buddy boy, Mike?
Hey buddy boy. I was just gonna say that. I guarantee you'd be Felix Leiter as Matt Damon's Felix Leiter, which was the Jeffrey Wright role, the CIA agent. That's what it would be. Yeah, and again, he'd be great in it, but for fuck's sake, fuck off. Fuck off, internet. Fuck off today.
Asshole.
Fuck off. Fucking AT&T bullshit.
The best. Sean McCabe, if Amazon gives Bond the same treatment as Jack Ryan, I'm happy. Kristian had a great time with the Spider-Man 3 reaction. Mike, always good to see you, pal. Yeah, the Spider-Man 3 one was good. We had some good jokes in that one. It was fun.
And you said that was the one that she kind of remembered.
She remembered it. It was the only one she had seen.
Right.
So she remembered it when parts of it. She still forgot a lot of it because she would be watching it in the background while her son was watching when she was younger. But it's there were things, but we now we finished the Amazing Spider-Man. We did 1 and 2, so that's going to be fun for the audience to see, and then we're going to get to Far From Home, which will be next week also. So I'm glad you liked it, Sean. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Next one. I tell you, got 55 right now, Mike. 55. You got it.
Moving on up in the world, like George Jefferson.
Still about 115. Zeus Fleming. Hey guys, hope all is great. What's your most underrated football movie? For me, it's either The Replacements or The Program. The Program for me. The Program is one of my favorite sports movies of all time.
Any Given Sunday.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Zeke says fart. Thank you, Zeke. Appreciate that. Zeke follows it up. Do you think do you think there will be a return?
You read? Jesus.
You read that. Go ahead.
Do you think will return as Julian McMahon as Dr. Doom variant in Secret Wars?
Right. So he missed it.
I think he meant to say, do you think Julian McMahon will return?
Okay, so he missed the word.
I can see it. I can.
Do you think we will see a return as Julian McMahon as the Dr. Doom variant in Secret Wars? What do you think, freezing internet McGillicuddy?
I hope to God we don't see any variants of anyone. Robert Downey Jr. is already a variant, so who knows? Who knows? What do I know?
Red Jack, have we ever had a younger James Bond that was early on in the 00 program? I'd love to see them go with someone like Tom Glyn Carney for a long time. Have we done? Who's the youngest Bond?
Oh God. Well, Daniel Craig was only 36 when he got the part. So
was he the youngest?
It was probably him.
Wow. Was he only 36?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Craigs don't age that well.
Are you sure?
36? Dude, I swear to God. I swear to God.
Maybe you're right.
Look it up. Check me out.
I don't check you out.
Check it out. Check me out.
Zeke, I hope we see Steel eventually in the new DCU. Is that the Shaq Steel?
Well, that's the character, sure. You know what? You want to talk about people and celebrities and whatnot, like people like The Rock. To me, Shaq is one of my favorite celebrities.
Shaq's great.
I couldn't care less about him and his sports career, but watching him as a celebrity, living his life, owning 50 million McDonald's or whatever his businesses are.
Yeah, he's great.
I love watching that man.
I love Shaq. And I like his approach where he's not one of these kind of stuck up celebrities. He's like,
he just seems like
he's humble.
Yeah, I bought this, I bought that. Yeah.
He's like, he takes pictures of people. He does. He's like, someone comes up to me and I'm going to make their day. I want to make their day.
Yeah,
I like Shaq. I like Shaq a lot. Thank you, Derek. Derek's coming in with some heavy support here, Mike, trying to push you over the limit, get you closer to what both DJ and Roxy did on Tuesday.
Appreciate you, Derek.
But
was it Roxy by herself?
No, DJ Woolridge was on. So RJ McReady, Invincible is the greatest comic book show on TV, boys. People love this show. You watch it?
I watched a couple episodes of season 1. I like the comic, but I wasn't a favorite of mine, so I haven't watched it.
Winston likes it, but I watched a couple of the first 3 or 4 episodes on, and I liked it, but not enough to keep going back. El Baba Yaga, how y'all feel about Tom Cruise being cast to play Jackie Chan, about his life and stunts in his time overseas? He says he's going full Tropic Thunder. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But
go for it.
Yeah,
go for it.
Zeke, follow it up. Hey man, thank you. Hey Kristian, the second anniversary of my eldest brother is coming up on the 13th. Been struggling for the last month. Do you have any advice? I'm so grateful for my current brother so much. I love him. Well, first of all, I'm very sorry for your loss. That's horrible. It's horrible, and as I tell everybody who's this, and as a friend said this to me, it's the worst club in the world to be in. It really is. And the only thing that I can tell you is that it gets better, but it never goes away, and you don't want it to. So just, remember, let that, don't push aside the pain. Don't do that. Don't try to bottle it down, because I did that and got myself in trouble for doing that. So don't do that, and make sure that you talk to people, and make sure you should do exactly what you just did here. Ask people for advice, conversations. And again, I'm so sorry for that. That's really, it's very, very tough. Sorry for you and your family that you went through that. He follows it up. Predators from 2010 is severely underrated. Ellis just tweeted me this after Adrian Brody won the Oscar. He's like, remember, Predators rules. The beginning of Predators and the fact they used the music. The movie is forgettable. And I'm glad you liked it, though. I like Prey. I wish Predators was more appreciated in the geek community. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
For me, it was, say fuck you.
Wait, well, let me say, hold on.
Fuck you.
Asshole.
Fuck you, internet.
You're an asshole. Oh, yeah. Come on, Mike. Okay. You're frozen, you bitch. Look at you. You twitch. You're moving and you're frozen, and I know it'll stick. Oh, yeah. Mike, look at me. Look at my balls. Put it in your mouth while you listen to the Ross. Oh, yeah.
Hey, big balls are covered up. Zeki's covering up your big balls there. Good. I like that movie, actually, but I think the biggest problem is the fact that they're on this alien world, and it looked like Hawaii.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything except, like, I think they made like a couple big planets in the background. Like, if you're going to be on a foreign world, make it some alien world.
Yeah. All right, Snyder.
I can't hear you. That's great.
You can't hear me? That's great.
You talking?
Yes, I'm talking. You're so dumb.
Chris, now what happened?
It's amazing. You're lucky you're a good looking guy, because you're really dumb. You're a dumb person. And everybody knows it. We don't like to tell you to your face. But you might as well just stick your finger in your nose and look real stupid while you do it. But your internet gives me the gift of joy every week. Do you understand this? It gives me the gift of joy, because it freezes and then it shuts your sound off to where you can't hear me, and I can say whatever I want to you. I love it so much. It's the best. And you just sit there and you just stare. You have no idea what I'm saying to you right now. It is so good. And I love the fact that you're just contemplating.
Hello?
Yeah, well, what you should be doing is signing out. You should be signing out right now and coming back in, because it's worked. This has happened 4 times, and yet you have not picked up on it. And this is why, like, now you're going to freeze again. It's just the best. You just give so many gifts. You're just frozen, and the internet hates your guts. The internet hates you. Do you understand this? It hates your guts. And you're just sitting there. You've done this 5 times before. You could easily jump out, come back in, and this problem would be solved. But instead, you're just staring at your. There you go. Finally, you figured it out. That's great. I really love that. I really love that so much. He's going to be coming back in now. Oh, it's the best. I love it. He said his internet was working good. Well, not this time. Not this time. I love that. We're going to wait for him to come back. But man, that internet really just hates his guts. Hates his guts. But I love his internet. I don't ever want it to change. There's times that I want to send Brett over there to get it all fixed up and help him out, but I'm not doing that anymore. What's up, buddy? You got it? You're okay now?
No, well, yeah, you had to bring in big ball. I couldn't hear you.
No, it's all right. Well, and it's fine, because when you were on, all I was doing was saying very kind things about you while you were on. And look, you're frozen. I miss Roxy. So good. You jinxed it so bad. You jinxed it so
bad. So fucking bad.
You jinxed it so bad. It was.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
I need to start the show in a shitty mood. I need to start the show with everything going wrong. The lawnmowers, the dogs. Look at this shit. Look at this shit.
So good. I love it.
I can't wait for AT&T to like, hey, your bill's raising $5 a month, and I'm gonna fucking unload.
Yeah, but you can't go anywhere, right?
Fucking unload.
You can't be. Can you just change?
I heard Spectrum's fucking worse. That's like the 2 in our area, AT&T and Spectrum. I heard Spectrum's garbage.
Oh, it's absolutely hilarious.
I want fiber, but it's not in my area.
I had Spectrum when I was in LA, and it was fine.
Terrible.
It was fine for what, but let me see. Let me get back. We lost some of the. Let me make sure I get all the questions here.
I think we lost about 50 questions, so make sure you get all 50 of those.
No, we got them. Okay, so now Ewok. Nolan likes to work with familiar faces. Bond-age British actors he's worked with are Tom Glencarney, Jack Lowden, Harry Styles, Robert Pattinson, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Tom Holland, and Cosmo Jarvis. I mean, you're probably definitely going to see a bunch.
If you put Tom Holland as James Bond,
he won't do that.
I know, but
he's good at casting.
Aaron Taylor-Johnson, I do like that. He was one of the ones that was named pre this Amazon deal that I was like, I can be on board with.
Well, Ewok says that Jeff Snyder says that Jack Lowden will likely get the role. Who's Jack Lowden?
I have no idea.
Let me see. Jack Lowden. Let me see if
Jack Lowden. I don't know who that is.
Do I know him? It looks Bondish. I don't know Jack Lowden. Doesn't mean that he should.
What's he been in of Nolan's?
She's Ronan's husband. I don't know. Not sure. I don't remember him. So Derek Johnson, support. Thank you, Derek. Alex, Mike, I also worked in Disney World in the 2000s. As you probably remember, we could not escape Stitch. I feel Lilo and Stitch box office is going to be massive. How do you think it'll do?
I don't know. Because those live action or animated live action are always hit or miss with Disney. But I feel like we haven't had a Lilo and Stitch thing in a while.
Yeah, but
my girlfriend loves Lilo and Stitch, so
it's going to do well because they have confidence in it. Clearly, they're putting in the summertime, and I always tell you, do not underestimate the power of families. Like there is
you're right.
Not a lot of stuff for families to watch during the summertime, and they are going to market the hell out of this for families, and families will go and show up for this one because if there was, let's see, because a Lilo and Stitch, because that's coming out right around the same time as Mission Impossible, I think, right?
Yeah, I think you said like the second, maybe the first week in June.
You got
same day
as where we were talking about with Mission Impossible. You got nothing, no competition for Lilo and Stitch until, How to Train Your Dragon a month later. So so that's that. It's
start of the summer for schools out. So yeah,
it's gonna crush. Zeke, hey Mike, do you have any recommendations for DC comics? Used to love comics a lot, but I got back into them since Deadpool and Wolverine.
DC do the ultimate or absolute that's right now. It's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. So it's easy to kind of jump on board. You're not lost with a lot of continuity errors, but they do enough different stuff, but this core of the character is still there. So they're really good to read. And they're only on, I think, issue 5 of each of them right now. So you're not far behind at all.
Shelf presence. End credit for Fantastic Four. TVA agents all down a TVA portal. Close the screen showing Tony's sacrifice. A shadow figure stands in front of cells with variant Avengers. Doom turns and says, "Assemble." I don't know. But
it's like, I'm just thinking of the Cap Ford teaser.
Does that confuse the mainstream audience though? If you do something,
I know. It's like there's other people out there, and you're like, what? People
won't really know what that means. Like, we would, you will, but a lot of people don't. Darth Vader's burnt asshole. Kristian, I think you're overthinking Robert Downey Jr.'s Comic-Con reveal. Pretty sure it was just meant as a, hey, look, I'm back. Oh, I agree. No. I don't think that's how it's going to look. I'm just telling you that they cannot do that because no matter, I don't disagree at all.
Yeah.
I agree with you that it was meant as a, hey, look, I'm back. I agree 100%. But the reason why Tony Stark worked so well with Robert Downey Jr. is because Robert Downey Jr. essentially could be Tony Stark, look like him. He walks around, he dresses like him anyway, right? So he looks like it felt like it. So when he popped out there again, hey, I'm back, it still felt like Tony Stark, not a costume or a look reveal. I didn't think that it was. I'll be very clear about that. I didn't think that it was. I'm with Mike. I like Daredevil. I didn't love it. Fair enough. Yeah. I loved it. So I saw someone said the pacing was slow. It's like it's an Andor conversation for me when it comes to pacing.
I didn't think the pacing was
slow at all. It's like that to me. It's an involvement. Everybody wants boom, boom, popcorn going everywhere. Boom, yeah. It's like it's like, come on, like let it marinate. Let the shows marinate. So everybody wants like fast pace, go, and it's like it's the TikTok generation, man. It's like for me, it's like let's marinate in this shit. NLSFC 96. I think Brendan Scanar from 1920. He should be the next Bond. Nah, he's Batman. He's Batman. That dude. I'm telling you, especially after seeing 1923 second season, that dude's Batman. Go Pal. My only criticism of Daredevil was a couple things in the open action scene. It felt like not great CGI or a video game. Yeah,
I can see
I'm
that.
so shocked. This is one I thought everyone was going to. I thought everybody was going to love this. I thought it was going to be one of those universal kind of just loved things. I'm so shocked that there's pushback on this show.
Yeah.
And yet I'm not.
I just think because the first 3 seasons are so beloved.
Yeah, maybe so.
So you got a high bar. You got a high bar you're trying to attain.
Plus and not Netflix. I'm sure that people don't want to give it too much love. Darth Vader's burnt asshole. Daredevil feels more like JJ Star Wars was. Feels like a pale imitation. Yeah, I disagree. I couldn't disagree with that statement more. I saw Collider say that too. I think that is. I respect your opinion, but I couldn't disagree with it more. Couldn't disagree with it more. It doesn't feel like an imitation at all to me. It felt similar to Deadpool. Yeah, I just disagree with it. Go Pal. Fun fact: the love interest in Daredevil played Mother Coral in The Acolyte. Really? Ooh. I know her from Revenge with Emily Van Camp and that Lake Bell show. Mother Coral. Let me see. Is it the one that
Are we talking?
Let me see. Oh my God, she is. She's the one. She's the one that did the one that wasn't. I didn't think was great. She's great in Daredevil. She's great in Daredevil.
Is it his partner, his law office partner, or the girl he gets set on a date with?
The one that set the date with. Let me see.
There you go. So they chose you. Just the material or a director makes a world of difference.
She is. It is her. Wow, she's fantastic in Daredevil, and I thought I didn't think she was good at all in The Acolyte. There was a couple times I laughed at some of the time, and maybe it was just like you said, Mike.
I think if you look at it, like the stuff in Star Wars, some of the lines she was having to say, it's like sometimes an actor you can't work with. You don't know what this is. I
think it was the direction and what she was given in that, because she is. I've seen, like, again, the 3 episodes. She's great in Daredevil. She's great. I love her.
I know I mentioned the acting. Some of the actors I didn't care for in that first episode, but she was one I loved.
She's great. She was great, and she's really, really good in the show. And yeah, that's what a great. I'm so glad that you told me that, Go Pal, because like now that goes to show, like, it's all about material. And that's when someone asked me that question, who's someone that initially you didn't think they were a great actor, and then I think she's great. So that's great news. Chris Lissenfeld from Mike: when you work with explosives, it's dangerous. Said Bond.
I don't know. Oh boy, you got me there, Chris. When you work with explosives.
Well, Saul's probably going to send me a text and get upset with you now again. Cupcake Bliss: if Nolan directs the next Bond film, take my money. That's going to be you and a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be feeling that. It's going to do very, very well. Okay, so Kyle Wilson. Thank you, Derek. Kyle Wilson: I would love to hear Hans Zimmer's Bond theme. Oh, he's done it though.
Well, he did. No Time to Die.
Yeah, he's done Bond before. And it was really good. He plays it at his concerts.
He had a great score for that movie.
Yeah, he plays it at concerts. Cupcake Bliss: I'm going to be heartbroken again if Gunn axes Batman 2. This is really the only thing that's keeping me continue to be invested in DCU, but it's not part of the DCU.
And here's the thing: I don't think Gunn would be the one to axe it.
No, I don't think so. I
think he would have to come out and say this because he's the head.
Right. I think it'd be a collective decision.
Yeah, I think he's given Matt Reeves all the slack he needs right now. He's like, yeah, go make your movie.
He has been. There's only so long you can do it, though. Anthony M72: Oscar should have brought back Pacino to present. Pacino. I did say Pacino. Oh my God.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Good old Al Pacino.
Hey, can't get my name right. Come on.
Oh,
Pacino.
Come on.
Take a dunk. Pacino. Hey, come on.
We're gonna go spend some money at the Pacino. Oh.
Pacino doing that presenting would have been great. Mike, you're not doing too bad right now. You're at 75, buddy. You need less than 100 now. Less than 100.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Pacino. What the fuck is wrong with me? Kyle Wilson: do y'all get tired of answering the same question twice? No. I mean, because you can always present it in a way and revisit the question. So no.
And I like to hear myself talk. So
yes, you do. Zeke Schnink. Thank you. Derek, some more support there. Thank you, Derek. Kyle, coming back up here. That's really good. Well done. You'll get tired of answering the same question. Well done. Derek Johnson, Thorns, but I liked what you did there. set us up, and then you punch us right in the jaw. I like it. Sydney.
Right, dick bag.
Yep. Hey guys, what are your alternate director picks that would excite you to your interest to direct the next Bond? Enjoyed your Bond book, by the way, Mike.
Thank you very much. Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
I think that what is going to happen, though, depending on who it is, like we mentioned, if Tarantino does a Bond film, it's Tarantino's Bond. If Nolan does a Bond film, it's Nolan's Bond, right? Who else can you think of that it's not like the next Bond movie is going to be directed by, as opposed to, you know, their movie? So I don't really know. I would like to see Matthew Vaughn do a Bond movie.
Kingsman. That's his Bond movie.
That's
you know who I think?
That's Powers, yeah.
George Miller.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'd like to see him try Bond.
Yeah. Mearsum, Serenity Moon. Thank you, Mike, for giving me the giggles. There you go, Mike. Giggle Century. Gopal. I haven't seen the program in forever. I love that movie back in college. It's a fantastic movie. Fantastic. Okay. And Rob M. Lasanti, with the passing of Gene Hackman, what are your guys' top movies by him?
Ooh, Hoosiers.
Hoosiers is
Enemy of the State.
Yeah, Unforgiven. I mean, Superman.
He's great in The Firm.
Great in The Firm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Firm's
those
a really good movie.
ones I think of in general. Andy Bergdorf from Mike's Internet. There you go.
Thank you.
It's been nice to him lately. Gopal. Connery was born in 1930, so he was 32 in Dr. No. Well, there you go.
There you go. Youngest Bond.
Connery was first and youngest. Kyle Wilson. Nolan's Bond will feature Jeff Bezos as the villain. That'd be hilarious if they did something like that.
I mean, yeah.
That'd be really great. Okay. Andrew Krivolka. Hey Kristian, are you checking out SpaceX launch Starship tonight? Probably not. We're prepping and doing a bunch of things at the family tonight, so I don't know, but I'll keep up on it and see what the word is. But no, we're not going to be watching it. HA theatrical release if Nolan does a Bond movie? Absolutely. He won't agree unless
no way.
There's no world where he would. Okay. Let's see. Next one is Gopal. I think M taking his Beretta implies he was very new to the 00 section, like it jammed on his first mission, so they made him switch to the Walther.
Oh, it was for Dr. No. They made him trade the Walther or the Beretta for the Walther. You know.
Yeah. Nathan Drake. What sort of curse words were exchanged between you and Guy during that backstage brawl? We didn't have a brawl, but it was. I love hearing juicy schmodown behind the scenes stories. I mean, who knows? I'm sure there were definitely F-bombs. Or really, definitely face to face, yelling, screaming at each other. Do you remember? I don't know if you were there. Were you there during the 5 Horsemen reveal?
The 5 Horsemen? Yes. Oh yeah.
You were there during that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because that was no. Yeah, okay. You were.
Not that I was involved in anything, but I was there.
You were there because were you downstairs? You remember that because they had that at that theater. They had like downstairs big kind of green room everyone hung out at.
Yeah.
Were you there when Guy and I were like screaming at each other in each other's faces right after that because he was so mad about the blown call?
It wasn't in character. It was real, bro.
Oh, no,
like
real.
a real.
Yeah, it was.
I know. I think I was in the audience. I think didn't they have a balcony?
I think so.
I think it was up at the balcony.
No. That was the one where we used to do the free for all at the balcony. Yeah, it's a Globe. No, there wasn't a balcony at this place. There was the El Portal.
But I was in the audience watching it happen.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Next one. And we are going to get to Mike Joyce. Mike needs better internet for fiber/Starlink fund. There you go. Really got to get you. Be quiet. I've had enough of this nonsense. Go away. Let's see. Next one. An idiot. Let's see. Mike Joyce. Although we'll miss the hilarity that ensues. Yeah, with the internet, it's the best. Absolute best. Okay. Stupid asshole. Like my Oscar pin, you go stick your head up your asshole and smell your own intestines. Zeke Numalanglo. Love you, Mike. There you go. And then Zeke. Absolute Batman is so damn good.
It is. It really is.
It's really good. Nerds Engage. Erase completely. Bond or Mission Impossible films. I know, Mike, you're going to say Mission Impossible, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Erase completely? I mean, just because Bond's legacy is 60 years. So, yeah, I guess I have to erase Mission Impossible. That's a bullshit.
Yeah, right. Sean McCabe, support for Mike's internet. Had a good chuckle reading Secret Wars. Keep hearing Brolin's voice when I was reading Thanos' dialogue. It's pretty hard not to. Is Thanos part of Secret Wars?
Oh, I believe so. I could be wrong. I haven't read it in a very long time.
I mean, you just said it was, but I didn't realize it. So Nathan Drake, when's Mike gonna host? Oh, you kidding me? He wouldn't be able to host he'd be able to host the show. It just his internet won't let him host the show. GoPal. To be clear, I love both episodes of Daredevil. A little bit of CGI was the only thing that bugged me. That's fair. And then to which Armada said the CGI felt a bit off in the Daredevil first up. Yeah, I didn't see that. El Baba Yaga. Mike, look into Nighthawk Wi-Fi extender. It helps a lot. As a gamer, I use it and it helps so much. I have Spectrum 150, 300 range. You get a real good one. All right, I'm going to send this to you. I'm going to send you this. I just did a screenshot of it.
What do you send it to me?
I'm going to send you, or just write down what they just told you there because you need this.
All right.
Cupcake Bliss. Daredevil is similar to Netflix in terms of look and feel based on the first 2 episodes. However, is not Penguin level good. I think I got spoiled from the Penguin. Penguin's on a different level. There's no doubt about it. But that's a once in a lifetime show. That the Penguin. It's got a whole bunch of Emmys and everything too. Like, I'm just so. This is what gets me about fandom in general.
What gets you? I can't wait to hear this.
Well, when you look at some of these shows that we've got from Marvel, whether it's Secret Invasion and She-Hulk and a lot of this, some of this other shit that they've put out, right? And then you get something like this, and you're complaining about some CGI or the fact that it's slower paced. It's like it's a well-made show. It's a good show compared to some of this crap that we've been getting lately. All right, Chris Listenfeld. Explosives quote is from the Indiana Jones stunt show. Did you even work on that show, Mike?
Oh God. Hey, Johnny, you're our explosives expert. Can you give us something, tell the audience a little bit about explosives? When you work with explosives, it's dangerous. The best man in the business.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. You got me.
Simon Section.
Don't do it, motherfucker.
Asshole.
Simon Section. Christian Dr. Doom, Iron Man, mask or not. The only thing that matters to me is his Latvian accent. Does it sound like Tony Stark, European? And then there's his mannerisms. Is he hand-on or metal? Yeah, I mean, they really have to establish him as somebody else. They really do.
Yeah.
King of the Wicker People. If Nolan directs Bond, which secondary villain would fit his film? Or should he just created this something new entirely? And yes, Mike, you did say that.
Okay.
I think it should be Odd Job.
I think someone new.
Nerds Engage. A Tarantino written by, directed by who? What do you mean?
Tarantino and written by him, I would think.
No. I think he's asking similar to what True Romance and Natural Born Killers and things of that nature. Who would you want to see direct Scott Derrickson? I'd like to see directed Tarantino written movie. That'd be a good one. Okay, let's say next one here, and that would be Zeus Fleming. I'd love to see Amazon make an M16 series that accompanies MI6 series that accompanies the new Bond movies. You had to see how they did that, right?
What?
You would have to see how they did that before you signed on to it.
Yeah, I think you're saying MI6 is in the intelligence agency in England and not MI6. Yeah, I mean, someone had said, and I think our last chat last week where they said a 00 series focusing on the 00 agents. I think that would get my interest. Yeah.
NLS FC 96. Can you see Denis Villeneuve direct a Bond film? Yeah. I also think Chris McQuarrie would be another good pick. Yeah. Both those would be really good.
He'd be great, but I don't think he would.
No. Let's see. Okay. Next one. And that is from Zeke. Daredevil Born Again's writing was so impeccable. Yeah, I agree. I really liked it. Derek,
I can complain about that.
No, the writing was pretty damn good. Okay. Well, that was it for now anyway. Derek just threw in another one. If they want to keep us on, they will. If not, we're going to wrap up with 87, Mike. So not bad, though. 87, any other day at 87, that's pretty freaking good. It's just Roxy's firing off on a whole nother level right now. All right, Mike, what do you got? What do you got going on? Did Dawn ask a question? Dawn said she asked a question. Where is Dawn's question?
Don't be cheaping me on questions, Harloff.
No, Chris Listenfeld. Bond director wish list: Nolan, Villeneuve, Macquarie, Brad Bird, Matthew Vaughn. Let me double check. What do you think, Mike? Why don't you talk about that real quick, and I'll do this.
I think, well, Nolan, yes, of course. Villeneuve, yeah. McQuarrie, I don't think so because he's done the Mission Impossible films. Brad Bird, yeah. Vaughn, he's done his Kingsman. But again, any of these directors are great directors, and I think if they have a story that they love and they wanted to tell, I would love to see.
Yeah, I'm really curious if how they're gonna do the announcements of if they don't get Nolan.
I know, yeah.
How they're gonna follow this up. From Dawn. Let me see. I'm not seeing any questions from Dawn. I'm looking, but wait, I see it. Dawn,
what's up,
Mike? What says? What's your thoughts about the Bond tribute at the Oscars?
I think it was pretty funny that they showed Never Say Never Again, which wasn't an Eon Productions Bond film. That was the Connery one that they did the same year as Octopussy.
I'm surprised they didn't bring out anybody who's played Bond.
Yeah, it sucks. There's been a few chances where they've been able to have all the Bonds together, but for one reason or another, someone didn't want to do it, which is kind of disappointing now that, Roger Moore's gone.
Right.
So it can't happen now.
Derek, some more. Zeus Fleming. Mike, what's a comic that got you into comics?
Ooh, geez, that's a good one. The 1980s, the early Secret Wars. I just, as a kid looking at it, I didn't really take to the reading of it. Like the reading wasn't what brought me in. It was just kind of the cool covers going to the comic shop. There was an issue of Teen Titans that was really cool too. That back at that age, it was all about the art and not too much the reading for me or the story.
Okay. And let's see. So Sean, Kristian, I hope you had a good one yesterday. It was nice to, I still worked obviously, but I wanted to, needed that 2 hours to try to put things together and get some things done. And we did. So, and we got, Sam and I recorded Amazing Spider-Man 2. So we got that done, just getting everything done. So it's been great. And then I guess, so there's another one here that he said, I guess there's Superman screening. So there's a new article about the Superman stuff. And I at this point, when this comes out, I'm just waiting for that movie because it's just everybody. It's like it stinks. It's the best movie of all time. I don't know. Tat Ronan 9101. If there was any director you could choose who no one is mentioning to direct Bond, who would it be? Oh man. I think you guys just said it.
I'm going with my George Miller one.
George Miller's great. I think Denis is a great pick too. I'd love to see what he would do. And then Kyle Wilson, Kristian, have you caught up on Severance yet? No, not yet. I started it, and then what happened? My wife came downstairs and we started watching 1923. She doesn't watch the show, so I want to finish it up myself. That's it, Mike. Where can the people?
At Mike Kalinowski. It's simple as that.
It's pretty easy. Thank you guys for sure for being here today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. Make sure that if you go to you can go into the description. You can get the sponsors there. Tomorrow, myself and Winston and Coy. Well, I'm not on tomorrow, actually. Winston and Coy will be on, and then I'll be back on Tuesday. Rocha will be hosting the show on Monday, but I'll be back on Tuesday afterwards. And then I will have my immediate reaction of Daredevil episode 3, which I already recorded. That will come out on Tuesday. The reactions will come out on Tuesday. Spider-Man, all those things are coming out. So they're doing very well. I appreciate everybody checking them out. And then that's it. So we'll see you guys on the flip side. Thanks for being here today. Make sure that you hit that button, subscribe, click the like button, and don't forget about us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Try to stay positive. You don't like something, go somewhere else. That's how it works here. That's how it works anywhere. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. See you on the flip side. Bye.